start by doing employee surveys, check-ins, having stand-up check-ins, say, oh, what's happening today? Drawing I have when I want to do check-in with my team, and it's actually very, very beautiful. It's a drawing of people positioned in different ways. So someone lying on the floor, someone sitting on the tree. So half of the time we send it to them, say, well, how are you feeling? Where do you think you are? And someone is just there on the floor. Why are you there? I don't feel like working this week. It is what it is. And the truth is, you take it like that. So you don't necessarily have to, a Diageo or a Guinness is doing this massive thing. Oh, I'm an SME because I need to make sure that my employees are well taken care of. And you will break. So start small. There are different ways to start small to make sure that everyone is carried along.
Thank you so much. So your performance, you now have to pass through the other way, and then this mental health issue will have to come up. Yeah. Those are the things I have for you. Considering the private, the public, and the third sector, what are the biggest barriers preventing seamless collaboration between these sectors in the tech ecosystem?
As I said, the private sector is more interested in tech that would generate high revenues for them, and so they take risk and they invest in it. When you look at it, you compare it to the public sector. The local government, for instance, would have to think about the costs of that. And so when they collaborate, it's very difficult. The private sector are always very anxious, to implement things using new technology, but the bureaucracy actually slows things down. So you could see the difference there. Personally, can I just give, because sometimes it's always good to use your personal experience rather than, because all these things you can do chat GPT and you get the answer. sorry, but that's technology for you. Now, I went to an event yesterday to get the Nigerian diaspora to start investing in Nigeria. And we had governors from Bauchi State and Kaduna. I've got their details here, and you're quite happy to come and get the governor's listing. I'm sorry, don't tell anybody, but I'm going to give it to you because I know that for you to come here on your Saturday to listen to AI and all that, so you know what it is. It's the implementation and the network. If you don't have the network, as Nikki mentioned to you, yes, you can have all the qualifications and nothing. You have people like, I use Branson, who started his airline thing. He left school very early, and he was passionate about something, and he worked at it, and now he's a billionaire. So all these people, you just need to be in the right place, have confidence in what it is you have, your ability, and put value in it. I have networks I'll give you people today so you can get in. I also have networks in Google. You can go there every quarter. It's free. You're not going to pay for anything. You go there quarter, I'll give you the details, the person to contact, and it will go through. Don't worry, I won't give it to Raymond. You can come to me. I know how these things work. I want to lift everybody up. When I was 26, I raised $100 million for the Bahamian company to refurbish all its hotels, okay? I didn't have any qualification in terms of raising that money. I just happened to be in a place, a network of people who could see my passion in finance, because that's my area of expertise, sorry, not AI. I'm actually a technical. So I raised that money. I was sitting with the Minister for Finance. They were talking about letters of credit and all whatnot. I hadn't a clue. I just finished university, and there I was in this sort of a place. But my friend believed in me because he could see my passion about, finance and all that, and put me there. And I happened to know a consortium that had that amount of money. And so that is one example. Now, yesterday, I was also at that event. There was a Nigerian billionaire, and guess how he started? He told his story. His story, and I've got his number, I've got his card. So you can always come to me, I'll give it to you. So he got up. No, it's true. He got up and he told the story how he was homeless in Nigeria and used to sleep in, he said Ikoyi or Ikeja, the flyover or something. He used to sleep there, and he would talk about how he used to wake at 4:30 to take a shower, because before then the buses would all come and disturb them and all that. So what he did was he found, shawarma or something. Do you all know that kebab, that sort of thing? So he found out that this was fast food. So what he did was he went to churches, where there were churches on a Sunday, and he'll have a stand there, and he started selling what they call it, shawarma. And it sold, and he was making up to how many millions in a week. And then he decided, oh, if this religious place would be accessible, I will try my best to go to the mosque. And he did that. And gradually, he built up something. He started investing in AI tools that would enable him to employ people, remotely and things like that. Now he's branched into real estate in Nigeria and industry. Agro industry is a big thing. If you're AI, you should be thinking about those areas. Anyway, so from that, he was able to tell his story. And it is you telling your own story. When you go there, be genuine. Don't go get rich quick schemes. They never work. You need something that is sustainable, something that you gain experience, you meet people who really would support you, because there are people out there who are willing to give their expertise and also their money and time to you. So never despair when you're going into something like this, because there's always somebody who would turn your dream and your passion into what you really want. But also remember, you have to give something back. It's no good you taking the information and hiding it. We're very good at doing that, hide the information. What is it? Now with technology, I could just click a button, I'll get the whole information. The only reason is I happen to know the people. I happen to have spoken to them, so I know the people who would be likely to listen to you and get you on your journey. So that's what I want to do. Forget about this speech that I've written here. But I thought this would be much more helpful.
Thank you so much, Donna. Thank you. You will agree with me that we can end this meeting now, and just sit down there and dedicate all the contacts and do all the networking. And it would have achieved the purpose that we came here and we got all the contacts. Because if we sit down here talking, and then leave with nothing, then we actually did not achieve anything. So I would personally say we won't continue this panel again. They are very resource people. So I will stop now, and then our subsequent sessions will stop early so that we can sit with Donna and get all the contacts.
Please don't be ashamed. Don't ashamed. Don't feel embarrassed. Just come. Information is power, and network. Don't feel embarrassed asking for help or assistance, because you don't know. The person who may look like a homeless person could be the one solving the problem that you have. So please, I'm very passionate. I was actually given an award by the Queen because I set up over 100 charities and social enterprises. And this was in 2004. I was in China for the Conference of Women. When they gave me my pay diem, I could afford to go there, so I gave a per diem and my ticket to somebody else in Nigeria to take them to China in 1995. So here in the UK, I was filmed last week, talking about my reflections about the Beijing Platform for Action. So please come to me and get this information. I'm not going to stay too long. I'm going to leave.
That was great. I really enjoyed that. Just one little thing on that is, so they were talking about net neutrality that's come up a couple of times. Okay. 5 minutes.
Okay. We'll do like 5 minutes short breaks too.
There should be time for breaks. If I want to organize it,
Can we wait during the break and go and collect the contacts? Because we have other programs lined up, other speakers are waiting. Please. Even me, I want this contact. Maria, will you get the contact and share? You can get for all our honestly, before this session, we ask me, do you want to when they start up and stuff like that? I'll be like, no, I don't have that energy. But after this session, energy, I am motivated. I am motivated. So,
Yeah.
so ladies and the men. My absolute pleasure to introduce to you a true leader in cybersecurity and managed service innovation with over 25 years of experience in network security, and the web is a renowned endpoint protection expert and incident response specialist. He is the founder and CEO of Custodian 360. He has revolutionized the antivirus market with next generation endpoint protection solutions, a visionary in security and mobility. Andy has not only built a pioneering managed service provider, but has also shaped the industry through his extensive expertise in network design, security, and IP telephony, holding multiple professional certifications, including Please join me in welcoming this.
Thank you very much.
Afternoon, everybody. So yes, my name's Andy James. I am the founder and CEO of Custodian 360. So we started way back in 2017, and we bootstrapped now to a multi-million dollar valuation. Approaching 30 years of industry experience. I've been around for a long time, seen a lot of change. I've sort of prepared a bit of a chat for you today. I'll move across this and see. I sort of got the feeling from the group that there's going to be a lot of people in the room who are starting businesses or looking to start businesses. So I just wonder if we could just do a quick show of hands around the room, because I might change what I'm going to say. How many people are sort of looking to start a business now? Okay, so there's a fair few. And how many people are sort of thinking about the cybersecurity industry as somewhere they want to work or even build a business within cybersecurity? Okay, so about the same numbers. Okay, maybe we'll just carry on with what I was going to say then. We can skip on. So when we talk about building a business or working, one of the things that we always talk about is security by design. So we can start businesses, we can start doing anything we think of, and it's very easy to focus on getting things done and making things work, and ultimately making money, obviously. If you start to think about security from day one, it becomes a lot easier. If you've got to go back and engineer security into products or solutions or businesses, it becomes difficult to do. So we're going to talk a bit around that. We're going to talk about the future of cyber services. So whether or not you deliver cyber in-house, whether you purchase that through services. And then we're going to talk a little bit about when it goes wrong and what happens there. We can go on. So security by design. Start from day one with security in mind. Even if you're setting up something simple as a you're going to employ, have access to email, whether that's a Google environment as well. From day one, if you think about security feedback, how do you stop people logging into that shouldn't be logging into it? It becomes a lot easier to do. If you think about it in 2 years' time, when you've got, say, 20 people in an organisation, it suddenly becomes quite difficult to re-engineer that security. So from day one, you might only be one person. If you think security from that first day and make your environments as secure as they can be, you will benefit from it. If you're writing code, depending on the type of business that you're thinking of starting, you're undoubtedly going to fall under some type of framework or some type of compliance. Okay, so there will be rules that you have to follow, safeguards that you have to put in place, but ultimately fines that you have to pay if you get it wrong. Okay, so these are really important things to be aware of. In the UK, GDPR is going to cover you one way or another, whether it's EU or non-EU. If you take and store credit card information, then PCI is going to cover you. And there's a fine for every record that you leak if you leak it. Okay, so things like that are really important to be aware of from day one. You need to plan to operate inside the frameworks and compliance. As we say, the sooner you start, the easier it is. If you're thinking about taking credit card payments, you should be thinking about how you're going to operate in compliance with PCI regulations. Always look for areas of improvement. So you can test, you can ask people to test. There's lots of people that are aspiring penetration testers. They like the challenge, so they will test platforms for free to get experience. They maybe look at the jobs themselves. You can approach them, they will come in, they will test your platform, test your code base, test any applications, tell you if there's areas that need to be. Okay, so there's a lot of things. Once you get into more grown-up businesses, you have to pay for it. But in the early days, there's lots of things around. Nicky mentioned B-sides. There's a whole community there of people that want things to test. You know, that's their passion, that's what they do. If you ask them, they'll come and rattle through a code base. If we look to the sort of future of cyber, one of the things you will understand probably around cyber, it moves incredibly quickly. Okay, so when I started nearly 30 years ago, there was next to no cyber. We had pretty simple antivirus, we had software-based firewalls. That was about it. Over the years, there's now a cyber platform for everything you can think of. Different configuration types across multiple platforms. It is a really complex world. It's very hard these days to understand everything because suddenly there's a parachute into this world and you don't really know where to start. It's not going to slow down. It will keep going at the pace it's going now. It may even accelerate. Which is sort of the next point we've got there, which is AI. Okay, so AI will accelerate the rate of attacks, the development of attacks, but it will also accelerate the rate of development, what platforms we're building. AI is one of those areas where, at the moment, we still need to have a good degree of caution. Not just bad thing. At the same time, we have to adapt to AI. It is going to find its way into organisations. I was at an event a few weeks back, which was Cyber UK, which is putting together a team of defensive security engineers that go and compete with other countries. And they were using a lot of AI for searching information. Okay, so it has the ability to outperform Google as a search engine, so that's what they were using it for. But that means it is going to be used within organisations that they work for. So if we look at it, we've got to embrace AI, we've also got to be aware of the challenges of using it. How do we stop our data going into AI models that it shouldn't be in? But how do we allow our teams to have an AI model that they can use for research and analysing data? Because we as a business index petabytes of data every week. That's a huge volume of data. Small team analysts get. So clearly there's a use for AI for us. But we can't put any of that data into a public AI. So it's a challenge. But as AI is here, it is staying, it is good and bad. Service providers, they're your friends. I would say that because I run a service provider. So if you think about it from both angles of business, you go to a service provider to provide you a service. They've been doing it for quite a while. They're generally going to deliver good service. Look at it from the other side. There's a security engineer, security analyst, working with a service provider. Exposure to lots more than working within one single business, running their security platform. You always see a lot more in a service provider. You always learn a lot more in a service provider. You face a lot more challenges, a lot more platforms, volumes you will be expecting. The other thing we have to do, of course, is challenge the norms. So don't accept what people tell you. If you think they're wrong, then you can challenge it. If someone tells you believe it, then you don't mind it, right? But it doesn't stop you thinking about, is there a better way of doing this and coming up with it. You don't want to be a person who's always saying there's a better way of doing this, but it can genuinely be mentioned, I still do quite a bit of incident response, so I still see the people and the problems when it hasn't gone wrong. Businesses are a pretty bad state. So the first one we got are various compliance fines. So if you let it go really bad, the things that things like the ICO come knocking on the door, then there can be really big fines if you're not doing this. And again, it depends on sort of the size of the business as to what is really big. A fine of £30,000 for a small organisation is massive. For a big organisation, it's not. So they're not always fair, these sort of compliance fines. You might think, in BA when they got hit by Magitar, they ended up with a fine somewhere around 30 million, which they still haven't paid. That's not a lot of money to them. So a smaller organisation, £30,000 fine might put back business. So there's no real sort of compassion. You're going to be in trouble. It could end your business if you have to play advantage, things like that. Reputational damage is really important. Okay, if you rely on people to pay you money to deliver something, then you get a reputation for delivering it bad or not doing the things that you say you will do. That gets around pretty quickly. Okay, so the whole security industry is incredibly small in reality. A lot of people talk. Reputation is key, and that's not just from a business perspective, but from a personal perspective as well. It doesn't take long if you're the person who doesn't do things correctly. It doesn't take long for people to find that out. Clearly there's financial loss potential. About fines. There's lots of other ways you can lose money. Okay, so I had to sit down with a CEO of a large company in Ireland the week before Christmas, explained to him the reason that his business had just lost €170,000 was his fault. He clicked the link, he'd given up access to his email account, and one of his email chains had been compromised, and funds had been diverted to a different account week before Christmas. So he wasn't over the moon, it was his fault. He hadn't taken up the advice previously, and that would allow something to attack their environment, cause them a lot of hardship. And it can be the end of businesses. Okay, so we've seen this quite a lot in the last couple of years, specifically around sort of ransomware organisations that have gone in. They're really clever now. They look at balance sheets of businesses, say this is what you can afford to pay, and they stand firm on that now. And what we've seen is a lot of businesses have got to that point, and they just said, you know, what's the no point continuing? So they folded the business, moved on. Okay, not bothered paying the ransom, they've just given up, shut the doors, and said that's it. So in conclusion, think cyber all the time. Doesn't matter whether it's at work, whether you start a business, whether it's your personal life. Okay? Everybody should be thinking cyber first these days. Biggest risk we see generally is drive-by threats. So this is just unlucky. Okay, so it's doing the cyber basics is what we should be doing. At home, we've all got technology in our homes, whether that's just a router that connects to your broadband and provides wireless. They have updates, they should be applied. And people can access through that. In business, you've got to keep on top of updates, etc. If you're an engineer and analyst, then that's your job to keep on top of it as well and spot those risks and vulnerabilities. Don't try and do it all yourself. It's very hard to do it all yourself. Lean on other people. So there's lots of skills available. When you're starting out, there's lots of skills available free. You can make use of. As businesses get a bit further down the road, you've got to pay for it, but it's still available. And don't believe the hype, really. A lot of people will say all these fantastic things around the security industry. A lot of it is still basics. Okay, how we prevent unauthorised access to it. We, set up good authentication schemes. We apply patches. We do those basics, and that deals with the majority. The advanced attacks are unlikely to hit the majority. We do see them, but they're unlikely to hit the majority. The majority will fall victims to the simple stuff. I think we're at the end there, aren't we? So, if there's any questions, you wouldn't have to take those. Yeah.
Thank you so much for the presentation. My name is Andrew. So I have like 3 questions if you want to give them.
Okay.
So when you were introducing yourself, you said strap your way, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as someone who is also towing that line,
Mm-hmm.
what are the strategies that should be advised? That's IT, that's one. And secondly, as someone who is building a small start of brands and building a software business, what are the affordable tools that can be implemented or integrated as we build our software as a service, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the third question is what are the financial mistakes that you would advise that I guide?
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll try and do all 3. So the first one, I mean, bootstrapping's hard because there's never money. Okay, so you always feel like you're on the back foot. Okay, somebody's always coming and taking money off you. It's hard to get people to give you money because you've got to sell things to get money. I think the simplest bit of advice, which is as old as the hills, is cash flow is king. Okay, so keep on top of the cash flow. and that makes life easy. Don't spend money you haven't got. Don't put yourself in a worse. It's never going to be easy, but don't make it harder on yourself by spending money you don't need to spend. Okay, so you'll have a pot of money. It runs out really quickly. You know, tax man comes knocking on the door. They don't wait for their money. Okay, that man doesn't wait for his money. So it's really hard to combine that. When you start employing people, you know, you've got all the pay, national insurance, pensions, etc. It all mounts up really quickly. Okay, so be aware of the sorts of expenses that you're going to have coming up, and keep on top of cash flow. Cash flow is the biggest killer of business. I work 15 months ahead on cash flow predictions, so that allows me to sleep at night and relax, not constantly thinking, you know, because one month I pay out 100,000, the next month I don't, but it all evens out over a year. So when you see that bank account start going down, you think it's not a problem because I've got the projections. I know where we're going, where the cash is coming from. So that's the biggest thing to keep on with getting the business off the ground. The second bit we asked about the tooling into the SaaS platform. What sort of SaaS platform? Okay. And what sort of resource? So you were saying about tools to support or tools to put into the platform.
Safety, right? Like you mentioned that when we are building the platform, right? You need to think of security and compliance. So what kind of structures do you need to put in terms of the personnel and building the app itself?
Okay, so you're writing the code, everything to build the platform. Yeah. Okay. So what you're looking at there is sort of the continuous improvement, continuous development, software life cycle. Yeah. So there's, unfortunately, with those, you've sort of got to pay for those tools. That's a problem. The market's becoming smaller because Google just bought Wiz. So that's probably not going to be available to most people. Last week I'd have said use that because that's the best. Now it's Google, maybe not. But there are a few good providers that do that whole sort of cloud security monitoring piece. Okay, so they will tell you when you're out of compliance. They will scan your code as it's uploaded, edited, and tell you if you know anything's wrong with that code. If you've got secrets leaking into it, they'll tell you, so you can keep on top of that. But yeah, something that plugs into your environment and tells you you're either in compliance, not compliant, how you fix it, etc. The last bit. Oh, crikey, yeah. Financial advice. Oh God. In this, what, generally, or?
No, in terms of as a person in construction, right? You already mentioned. I understand that there are bits of things that come to all that. As CEO, many people think that, oh, you have a lot of work, you're staffing, trying to combining family, doing all those things, what are the potential models for integrate to make sure
I'm probably not the best person to ask because I tend to do too much of one and not enough of the other. It becomes all consuming, and there will be times when you have to give everything to the business to get it past the hurdle. And again, I'm not the best person to give the advice, but generally, when you don't have to, that's when you shouldn't. You should enjoy that family time, as it were. Invest your time there. But then when it does need you, go. The reality is that certainly the first few years of getting the business off the ground is it's a write-off. It's hard work, and that's it pays off in the end, or it doesn't, one or the other. But if you can get it past that sort of first couple of years, 3 years, things start to become more stable, and that gives you some time back. No problem.
Good question. My name is Jeremy. I'm a cybersecurity consultant. My area of specialty is security engineering. As well. I have two questions, right? The second one I think is most important. So in the cybersecurity space, or someone like you that needs a cybersecurity company, I want to get an insight into what you think about building security solution for self. Right? So for example, myself and my team are trying to build a security solution that is able to, a lot of companies have their SIM platform, but most of these SIM platforms require an expertise in creating detection rules. Without those detection rules, it's pretty much useless, right? Because you have to detect, suspicious activities and all of that. But most of the time, companies struggle to create the right detection rules. You see, we go into consulting the IT all the time, and then we evaluate their platform. We currently have 9 series, and by the time we work with them for 6 months, we're going to be 2 series, because they are not looking at some specific issues, some specific detection. They might have maybe 3 use cases for many cards, but if we have 20, we have 30, based on some indicators that we are seeing if the get as of now. So the tool we are now creating is a tool whereby you create an API that connects to, let's say, Microsoft Sentinel using the Microsoft security platform, and evaluate the entire platform and says you guys have this amount of those. But based on the log sources that you have, you can create this and this and this as an addition. Let's say you create something like that. How visible is it to sell? We are currently working on something like this, but we are not really sure if we are able to sell or not, but I think there's a market for it. So what do you think?
Yeah, there's definitely a market for it. It's something that we do currently. So the platform that sort of forms the center of everything that we do is Sentinel-1. Okay. Yeah, exactly. So I've been working with Sentinel-1 since 2015 when they were a really small company. But one of the things they give us now is data lake. Okay, so effectively what we do is we can, first off, we get all of the endpoint data into that. Okay, so whether that's a mobile device, laptop, desktop server, cloud server, Kubernetes engine, whatever it is, we get all of that data centrally. We can then funnel any other data we want into that data lake. Okay, so effectively what we've built then is a SIEM platform, but without any correlation rules on it. Okay, so then what we start to do is we sit down with customers and we say to them, what are your biggest problems, your biggest concerns? And we build rules to solve those problems and concerns. Okay. Now once we've done it for one customer, we've got that available. The next customer we sit down, they may be worried about other things. Okay, so we build a rule set for them. Now we've got 2 customers' rule sets, so each customer it becomes easier as we go. We also have our own sort of threat hunting activities that we run, so that goes into that same data lake as well. So you can see it builds up pretty quickly to a really comprehensive set of rules that they can be individual rules and correlation rules that we build within that. And it really quickly becomes a really powerful tool because it's done in collaboration with what people want. We're not taking it as a seed platform. We're saying these are the things you need to know about. Okay, it starts with what they want to know about.
Yeah, I mean,
so yeah, it can be done.
Yeah, that's really good. That's what we do as well. But this takes 3 months, at least 6 months, right? But in this case, with this tool, you can plug it to the data lake, evaluate all the log sources, and all the logs that you currently have, and is able to say, these are the rules that you can create. At once, within 12 hours, you are able to do what we usually do for 6 months in consulting. So I'm now thinking how visible it is to sell such a product, and where should I go, for example?
So I mean, well, if you've got the solution, then the only thing you can really do is speak to potential customers and explain to them what you've got. Benefit that you will have is they're all paying a lot of money for SIEM platforms. Yeah, so if you think how much Splunk costs for the average organisation ingested 10 gig of data a day, It's quite a lot of money. So you can position it much cheaper. So you're actually going in to save them money, not ask them to spend money. So that point becomes a lot easier. Okay, if you're asking people at the moment to find money outside of what they've already got in budget, it's a hard conversation. If you say, spend that money you've got in budget with me, then you'll get 50% of it back to spend elsewhere. It's a much easier conversation.
All right, thanks a lot. That's really good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, everyone. Let's just get the energy in the room up. I know we're all awake, but it is that time of the afternoon. I want you to turn to the person next to you and just say, "You're awesome. You're awesome. You're awesome. Say it with some energy. You're awesome. Notice how you feel in your chest right now. Does the energy come up? Okay. So now I'm excited because we have the first of the 4 pitch presentations. Now, I have an extensive sales background. I love doing sales pitches. I do so every week. So I don't know whether the people that are coming up are doing it for the first time. So let's give them some very warm energy. What are they going to be pitching about? It could be a business idea, their business itself, some like their overall business, or it could be something career related. So the first person is. Right, so let's welcome Leo Otto Mfon on the importance of data analysis and bridging the gap in AI. Welcome.
Yeah, my name is Leo, as you mentioned earlier. This is more like an awareness and to open your mind into the aspects of dealing with elderly and geriatric people in the UK. The importance of data analysis in bridging the gap in AI adoption among the elderly in the UK. I'm a data governance analyst and I work in finance, and it has nothing to do with bridging the gap between, but I'm just passionate about people that are older. And I've seen there are a lot of problems that can come from you not actually dealing with problems early enough. We've got AI solutions that support the elderly or the elderly in the UK in terms of healthcare, in terms of accountability, and in terms of companionship. But look at the gaps in terms of, let's say, natural language processing. We've got NLPs and people saying this depends on your level of intelligence for you to be able to interact with an AI engine and get that level of value. But think about people coming in, immigrants coming into the UK that do not have some level of English understanding. Let's say they come from a background where they all know about ethic, like where I come from. I'm from Calabar. And then they come into the UK, they have to upskill. They have to learn how to interact with an engine in English. But imagine if it was like you having an audio interaction, speaking with an AI model, and you do not have that capacity and intelligence that the AI is expecting of you. That's a gap, and you can't get value from it. But if you have been able to train models with quality data that accounts for these levels of functions, then it makes the engine to be able to give you a valued response. Can I go on the next slide, please? Sorry, I'm talking too much, I guess. The introduction. AI has the potential to improve the lives of elderly in the UK. However, adoption remains low due to various barriers, like I've mentioned one. Data analysis plays a crucial role in addressing these barriers and promoting AI accessibility. The data in the UK currently from the ONS states that 68% aged 70 and over reported not using AI in their daily lives. These are already people that are educated, we might say, and they still find it difficult to adopt AI. But we forget also we've got functional illiteracy or functional literacy in the UK. There are a lot of people that speak English but lack comprehension. If you give them, let's say, your master's thesis for them to read through, they might not get a lot of value from it because you're using lots of technical language that might be difficult for them to be able to boil down. Digital exclusion. Approximately 4.7 million seniors in the UK struggle with basic internet-related activities, just like managing their accounts, logging in, Wi-Fi connections, troubleshooting. Our cybersecurity guys, they might be very happy to see how people can do man-in-the-middle attack, isn't it? They just spoof into your Wi-Fi connection. A lot of elderly people, they can get your data, scrape everything, and then you've got people wiping out their pension funds. But if you've got capabilities where you could speak to an AI engine and be like, oh, is this Wi-Fi secure for me? And then the AI tool is able to run a quick analysis based on the data it has, which might be either through a RAG process, can give you a very valid response. Digital skills. Around 69% of individuals lack sufficient IT skills to access internet safely. This is according to Rural Services Network 2023 research. The perception of AI. A lot of people are scared, I have elderly people I work with, and they're still scared about using things like ChatGPT, Gemini. We've got all these softwares or all these solutions and products, but they all work on different datas. They have different KPIs, what the company wants to drive. So we have to look at how we can get consolidated data, a kind of master data source that has got all this data that is right for purpose. Let's say you wanted to speak with an AI solution that can understand your natural language, which might be Spanish, Portuguese, and you ask it, how am I feeling today in English? And it gives you a response. Imagine if you ask that in Igbo. I don't know if we've got any Igbos or people from that part of Nigeria here. Or we've got Kenyans, or we've got Tanzanians. And you ask them, how are you in maybe your language? I bet you the response might be different depending on the contextuality. So that's why we have to be really careful around context. Because if you now have an engine that has got a consolidated data source, regardless of the context, it's able to give you the same response, because it can do a quick mash and merge and do a score. And it can say, oh yeah, within 60 to 80, this aligns with the true source of data, and the right response is given to you. These statistics just shows us a bit of the challenges faced in adopting with AI technologies, emphasizing the need for targeted interventions to bridge the digital divide. How can data analysis bridge this gap? Identify key barriers through data-driven insights, understand behavioral patterns and AI interaction challenges, enhancing AI models with user-centered data, improving AI accessibility through targeted interventions. All of this sound a lot big things, but I don't like doing presentations bungling them with a lot of information and slides. But I believe we're all educated individuals, and this particular audience can be able to understand most of all these things I've said here. Let's say personalization and AI optimization. What's personalization? We all want to personalize. We've got wallpapers on our phones. We're like, oh, I want to have this. It says something about me, isn't it? You've got things like AI models now that would give you an answer based on data it's scraped off, or agentic AI that is fit for purpose. Literally, it goes through data that is needed for you and gives you a response. We can utilize data to tailor AI solutions for elderly users. My particular pain point with regards to this is you want to be able to understand historical preservation. Currently, AI processes or workflows or work streams are just tailored towards the future. We are forgetting that the past is what gives you the ability to know what the future entails. So if you do not look out for work streams and data that can give you an idea of what's in the past. Let's say, for example, you have someone in your family that knows a lot about your family, and there is no one to document that particular story. You could document it in an AI in their language, and then that can be stored, and then you can teach that to your children in future. That is just a solution that you've provided for the next generation, because an AI model can synthesize a particular language that's not probably a popular language. Then we go into things like formants and speech parameterization. These are like analyses that you could do with Python or whatever solution to understand formants, accents. Now I'm speaking in English, but I wasn't born to speak in English. I was born to speak in my native language because it's a factor of my environment. But English is the mostly used lingua, isn't it? Everyone understands English. That's why I had to learn it. If not, I won't be able to make a presentation to you guys today. I'll be like, tick, 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 tack, 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 and you'll be like, what the hell is he saying, isn't it? Enhancing AI interfaces based on data-driven usability to studies. How often are we getting data to see how the elderly are using these AI solutions? Most of us have not even adopted AI solutions or used it to the level that we can use it to gain some value. We just use ChatGPT. Meanwhile, there's Gemini, there's Manus. There are lots of other products out there. And all these products have got what they want to solve, what drove them. So the idea here is to ensure that you start thinking about what you can do when we've gone into artificial general intelligence stage. When we've got AGI, in that sense of it, we are looking for, AI is literally going to be the government, because a president would not want to do lots of the work, would rely on a model that covers processes, that covers public governance, that understands human interaction, that understands how to give solutions without the bottlenecks that we humans have. Because with humans, there's always kickback, stakeholder management, isn't it? Leveraging predictive analytics to anticipate user needs. Predictive analytics is understanding what the future would be and how to solve it, as the case may be. We are just tailoring this and scoping this towards the elderly, like the geriatric group, 65 to 80 and above. Addressing these privacy and security concerns. I'm into data governance, and it's all about frameworks. It's all about policies and procedures, the roles and responsibilities. Now, what role are you playing? Implementing, you have to implement secure, ethical AI practices, educate elderly users on data protection and AI security measures. Case studies, AI-powered virtual assistants improving elderly independence, smart healthcare monitoring solutions using AI, community-driven AI literacy programs. Driven decision-making, this is under challenges and future considerations, need for continuous data monitoring and updates, and the role of policymakers and industry leaders in AI adoption. For the conclusion, data analysis is all about enhancing AI adoption among the elderly, but we have to first gather the right data from the right people, need for collaborative efforts between tech developers, policymakers, and the elderly community, encouraging further research and investment in AI accessibility solutions. I'm open for questions and to interact with people that have got other things to discuss in this field or in the sense of it. This is all high level, but I'm looking to boil down things if that's possible. Thank you.
We'll take picture. You know the LinkedIn? You know the LinkedIn? No, it's
okay. And I will really thank you for coming. When you're solely looking at the elderly, and my question for you would be, why are you putting a stake for the elderly, which, in quotes, is not sustainable? Because it might be in the next few years, can't guarantee 50% of those people still being alive. Why not look at focus the ones that are coming up, that you know that is a bit sustainable for a few decades?
My answer to that is because I've dealt with lots of individuals say the future is the future. We are all educated. But we're forgetting the fact that without the past, in terms of having the elderly now, we have the opportunity to train data and gather that information. Like information gathering stage. If you go 20 years down the line, there are people that will require to get this data Like you mentioned, they will not know. If you said in terms of language preservation, most people give birth to their kids in this country, and their kids do not understand their native language. If you do not bring someone from your home or your grandfather or your grandmother, or someone that understands the language, that understands interaction, how does AI work? How to interact with it? And if you don't have the time to interact with it, that means down the line, we need to look for people that can speak codes. You have to look for people that can actually speak normal language. And the AI will love that, because if you want to have a conversation now with an AI engine or a chatbot, you're going to be using prompts. And prompts are around keywords, are around systemic approaches. We need something that you can interact with on a level that is so low level, but you get high level results. That's why I'm focused on the elderly, because my own problem is not because I feel the future will have a problem. AI is already solving the problem of the future. But we need it now to solve or to find the gaps in the past that will intertwine and integrate with the future. If I start breaking this down the law, I will talk too much. So I don't know if that's a parallel. We have that every time.
Thank you for the share.
Thank you so much. We talked about training models for voices. If you want data source to train for Igbo language, come and come. So we'll move to the next panel.
Let's exit first. We'll come back, please. Yeah, you can carry your bag, carry the weight. You just have to exit first.
I have to exit first and then come back.
Don't use the lift.
Just your phone. I can't carry my things are here. Well, I can introduce the next the final session, battle of the
Don't know if
What's the name?
Okay. I've seen this one.
Meet people and start met so many people, meet a lot of people, and yeah, we can actually continue.
I'll be honest, I was sitting there on the chair, and in my mind, I thought, do you know what? I'm going to sit down with Raymond after this event and chop up the event like that because I did sense that there was a little bit like the speech and the presentation was great, but there's a reason why he's walking now. I believe God something a bit amazing. There's a reason for it. So I had my little speech in my head thinking, you know what, next event, let's have more great networking, but then move the alarm. I had all that networking so yeah, we'll definitely keep the network after as well, and always be sure to nurture those relationships as well. That's a big key. Okay, back to you.
Yeah. So it's time for the second panel session. This panel session is titled Tech Clash, the Battle of the Tech Minds. And we have Olako, the moderator. Olako, the moderator, and please can also welcome the speakers. Please, can we clap for them?
The second one. That's probably where I want to connect them. You need to.
Please, this session is just 25 minutes, then we have 5 minutes for Q&A.
Ladies and gentlemen, and the brave souls who will still not agree or want to update their software, welcome to this session. You can see they're all smiling. It's not a fight, it's not a war. We are happy to have you here. And today we are diving into some of the biggest, boldest, and most controversial debates in the IT world. Now, our panelists today are some of the sharpest minds in tech. They've come with armed facts, opinions, and maybe a few sarcastic remarks. So our first panelist here on my extreme right is one who never sleeps. Not because he doesn't want to, but because hackers don't. He can convince you to hand over your credit card details, your mother's maiden name, and your Netflix password. But don't worry, he won't. Please welcome Onyedikachi Ugu, sub-analyst, social engineering, SME, and a mentor. Welcome. The second panelist has a worst nightmare, which is a bug that somehow survived automated testing. They break software, so you don't have to. Let's hear it for Aziz Alabi, software automation test engineer. Clap for him. Are you angry? Clap for him. So we have the third one. He has trust issues. But for good reason though. Every mail is suspicious, every link is a trap, every urgent request from a CEO is probably a phishing attempt. If you had $1 for every time you want someone not to click on any shady link, he should have had a private jet by now. His name is Frank Opara, cybersecurity analyst. Wave your hand so they can know you. The last but not the least panelist is a tech hero, superhero. He keeps the bad guys out. He builds firewalls, set up security policies, and roll their eyes when people use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 as password. If your data is safe, think he's the one. Welcome Austin Orunwese, cybersecurity analyst. So let the clash begin. Now, quantum computers, we have Team A and Team B. Team A, can you wave to the audience, please? Team B, clap for Team A. It's not easy. He was the first to run away for the fire. I saw him. You like your life. Team B, can you wave to the audience, please? Okay, so now my question is to Team A. Quantum computers could break traditional encryption, making our current cybersecurity measures obsolete, right? So if this happens, hackers could steal financial data, government secrets, and personal information in seconds. The race is on to develop quantum-resistant security before it's too late. Now tell me, do you think quantum computing will make today's cybersecurity obsolete?
I don't think so.
Sorry, hold on.
Yeah, I don't think so. Cybersecurity is here to stay, and quantum computing is just coming in to be like a partnership with cybersecurity. Quantum computing will even come and augment the way cybersecurity works in the sense that it helps to solve and detect threats faster and more easier. Quantum computing cannot take away our jobs or become a threat to cybersecurity as a whole. Just like how AI is in and how AI is kind of augmenting and being in partnership in helping us as cybersecurity professionals to be able to detect threats faster. Same way quantum computing has come also to be in partnership to help us solve problems more better and faster.
Thank you very much. Team B, do you agree with him or what do you have to say?
I think I agree with him because obviously the world is going to evolve to too many things in the future. So quantum computing is here to assist cybersecurity and every other stuff. So it's more like a supportive part of what cybersecurity is going to be in the future. So yes, I agree with him in that aspect.
Can I give a round of applause, please? My question now goes to Team A again. You know how some companies usually rush to launch AI-powered shopping tools before Black Friday? After launch, hackers could exploit the vulnerability and expose customer data, proving the cutting corners of IT can be disastrous. Now, what should come first in an IT project? Speed, security, or quality, and why?
Yeah, I think quality should come first in an IT project because when you have to do a lot of stuff and also make sure your system is not vulnerable to attack, there are a couple of things that we do. As a software tester, I use doing security testing. I make sure the system is not vulnerable to things like cross-site scripting, token authentication, SQL injection, and a couple other things, And also, when we prioritize quality, our products we have lesser bugs, lesser issues, which we then have secure. Our system will be secure by default, But let's, for instance, we have a poor quality product, we have a lot of security breaches, which should be very expensive to fix. But quality first approach, we actually reduce this potential future security cost. And also, let's, for instance, now, a good quality product will make sure with a good quality product, we're in a good place, but without, and again, I used to say one thing, security is like a continuous stuff. It's not something you need to do first, but quality, you need to start from inception. I could do a release now, post-release, I could do security, but post-release, I can't start with quality. It needs to start from inception. So I think, with this case, I think quality should come first, then security follows.
I would disagree with that, and here's why. If you have a quality product and it's poor in security, you would get thumbs up, you get high ratings on Trustpilot. Customers would always purchase your product, but just in one instance when there's a security failure, when there's a security breach because you didn't implement security by default, just like what Andy said, in every aspect of your architecture, from writing the code to publishing to deployment, everything, you have to be security focused. So if you don't put security at the first point of, or the first thoughts of your project, you are going to actually bring out a bad product that would actually come back and taunt you. And mind you, you said something about cost. When it comes to security, it costs you more to actually come back when you have a security breach. Because let's take, for instance, I know some of us might remember the Equifax hacks of 2017. Now, Equifax had a very good product, very good quality, but they compromised on security at some point. Now, in that case, there was a data breach which cost them billions of pounds. And this data breach, they kept paying these billions of pounds all through the year. Nobody bothered about quality at that point. So I would always stand for security first.
Yeah, but do you know we can have a good quality system, a system that is fully secured, but it's not built for purpose. We can have a system fully secure, but it's not doing what is expected to be doing. But a good quality product, I think, is top notch.
I would disagree again, right? So, yeah, let me comment. Just 1 second. Let me comment. You said you have good quality products, right? Like I mentioned, trust pilots. Your customers will give you 3/10. Would you rather get a 5/10 rating and then lose your reputation? Because when there's a data breach, you lose your reputation. You're not coming out from that. Reputation takes years to build, very long time to build.
Yeah,
once you go down, you're not coming back.
I actually says something about, doing testing and not ensuring quality. When I'm making sure this system is not vulnerable to attack, I'm testing while ensuring quality, making sure I'm prioritizing quality first. It's not that security will not be prioritized, but it should be later. After post-release, we can do security. Yes.
Okay. This is becoming more interesting. Yeah.
Security on quality. I mean, service on quality, but I'll also tell you this. You will build security on quality. Without quality, there is no security.
Again, I disagree. So I'll tell you something. Now let's use an example. I'll stick to your time. Let's use an example. Let's take a mobile banking application, right? You can make transfers with a mobile banking application. You can take a loan. That's good quality, right? You agree? That's good quality. Now take, for instance, there's a data breach where customers' data are actually intercepted and then they could log into customers' app to make transfers. Now, your quality would not matter at that point. Your customers have lost trust. You lose all your customers to you.
Yeah, if you prioritize quality, we're having a system that is reliable, a system that is scalable, one that is fit for purpose, and it will be secure by default.
No, that's not secure by default. Secure by default will be from the architecture when you're designing.
Like I said, we can actually do post-release on security, but imagine having an app now, and after post-release, and I'm now ensuring security. It should start from inception. But security can be post-release because it's a continuous stuff. Let me tell you one thing. Security is a continuous stuff. I can do like security updates after my release.
We can sorry, I'll be cutting you short now. We can continue that during break. As you can see, I'm hungry. So, do you know how far I ran for that fire? You have to do it. So we have another question. This is Team A as well. Will AI take over cybersecurity jobs, or will there always be need for human experts? Team A.
I would say this: AI cannot take over our job. It can only probably make our job more better. So let me just give a simple scenario. We always have this our spam mail. Sometimes someone sends you a genuine mail, it goes into spam because of AI. That is false positive. I don't know if you people that into cybersecurity, you have false positive, you have true positive. So you still have to have this human involvement in cybersecurity. Yes, I have a system, our sub platform that we use to work. So many times you have so many AI satisfied this as safe, but the IP is malicious. Did you know it is malicious? So if you classify that as safe and the user click on that, there will be so many things going on in that, so many ransomware, so many malicious activity going on in that organization. So we still need that human input. We still need to review it. AI is not perfect. AI cannot take over our job. It can never take over our job. We developed AI. AI is here to stay. They're our children. So they can always.
Whoops! This is interesting. Team B, do you agree with him? What do you have to say?
I think I'm going to agree with him on that aspect because
you agree?
Because AI has come to enhance and to make it better, but it cannot necessarily take it away in total because you need, like he said, you need that human input. Obviously, AI cannot do everything by itself. It needs humans to always give you that command to do this and that, and it also has some vulnerabilities too as well. So you need humans as key factor in that. So AI is not going to take our jobs.
Beautiful.
I would agree also. I just want to put in something because this is a very tricky topic, right? Let's remember when robotics came out and it was used for mechanical plants, assembly of cars. We all thought that was the end of mechanical engineers and assemblies, but up till now we still have people work in assembly cars. So it's never going to take our jobs. It's just going to make our jobs better. So it's just keep upscaling, especially in cyber security. When you bring more AI solutions, you get more specialists coming out, more specialist roles coming out. So I think it's not going to take our jobs.
So I agree too. Now we have another question for you. Between automation and manual testing, which is more reliable? And how can we ever fully replace manual testing?
Good question.
I know you like to answer that question.
I think automation is more reliable because automation is very fast, especially if we are dealing with huge amount of data, and also if we want to run regression testing. And also, I also like the fact that we can run any automated test anytime, even outside of business hours. And one thing I also like to talk about is, automation eliminates human errors. We are prone to errors, I could have lots of test cases, lots of test scenarios to go with, and maybe 1,000 for instance, and at 50, I missed some steps. They can actually impact the product. But with automation, the consistency is top notch. And again, you ask if you can replace manual testing. I'd say no. Sometimes we need this human intuition, this human judgment is needed. But, and also if you want to do exploratory testing, so automation testing any day, anytime.
Thank you very much. Team B.
I would. He said something about automation is top notch and you will not make a mistake. That's totally wrong. And I would point you to CrowdStrike. I think Nikki Webb, or was it Andy that mentioned about the CrowdStrike blue screen update that happened just a year ago. So what happened then, if you read the RCA, was they did they relied more on automation updates, or automation deployments, pushing their sensor updates straight up. So if they actually focused more on manual testing, by manual testing I mean test the deployments before on test servers, follow due process of change management before you actually implement on production. Even if you're implementing on production, you don't go full scale on critical servers or critical environments. Implement in stages manually first before you actually go full scale on automation.
I disagree because there is no automation without manual. If I could run any script, I should be able to manually test the application. But you made mention of CrowdStrike. Yeah, they push an automated test updates and they actually impact the system. Are you telling me, even if it's done manually, it won't impact it? A lot of companies push automated updates every day, thousands, millions every day. Microsoft, Google, Netflix push automation testing every day. But because these automated updates are not actually affected, because of the one that are affected, that is impacted, should we allow the rest? No. So automated test works very well.
Yeah, I guess if you remember, like our colleague spoke recently. She said a couple of years ago before IT. Now, many years ago, if you remember, there were a lot of failures. Those things have actually reduced now because of everyone follows the proper frameworks and follows the due process right now to actually implement. So if you follow due process, follow manual testing for each environment, go to manual stages, follow the change management process.
Yeah, I disagree again. I have one question for you. If you manually, one second please, if you manual testing, when you do stuff manually and we had issues, how are we going to roll back? If we do it automatically, we can roll back and do an hotfix. But with manual testing, it will take you.
After the session, we'll answer that. After the session. Thank you very much for that. Now, should certifications hold more weight than practical experience in tech roles? Or not?
I'm very happy Nikki is not here. Because she's my mentor and I'm doing the research. So, yes, experience is needed, but I think certification cannot be kicked out. There's a reason why these big industry leaders are still there, the likes of Google certification, Microsoft certification, AWS, CompTIA, they are still there in the market. we pay thousands of pounds for the daily. It's because it's needed. It's because it's acceptable. People recognize it. Many people use it to gain even the experience that we are talking about today. Yes, we know people always say we need the experience, but yes, certification certify that you know this. Also, there are some certifications that provide a platform for you to even learn, do some hands-on on it, do some practical work on their platform before you are being satisfied that you have it. Even now, AI is coming in. We are having so many certifications on AI. Okay, what about project management? You, as a project management, you don't go into an office and tell them, I have experience in this. No, you need a certification. Yes, as a project manager, you need a certification.
Okay, Team B, do you have anything to say about that? Team B.
I wouldn't agree with him because...
Team B is not agreement.
I wouldn't agree
it's
because...
a fight.
People could have all the certifications in the world and have no form of knowledge. A whole lot of people could go to a job description, see what is needed, get certifications maybe last week for the job, to apply for the job next week or something. So certification, maybe if you're trying to get an entry road, that could help. But if you let's be honest, you're not going to employ someone who has papers and he doesn't have any form of experience, right? So experience is hands-on, it's the most important thing.
You've said something quite important, because as an entry-level person, you don't have experience, you need certification. When the HR guys are employing you, take for instance, you just leave school and you come into the market, how do you get the experience with that certification?
I like that question, right? So, when it comes to certifications and practical experience, certifications would get you to the door, but what takes you in and keeps you there is your practical experience.
Oh, this is wonderful.
Now,
so, we are going to have some questions later.
So,
thank you very much. Thank you. I'm going to be...
When it comes to...
I'll soon raise the fire alarm again. Thank you.
I think certification to the employer that you have like an up-to-date skills that meets industry standard. So
when it comes to technical roles, I'll focus more on technical roles right now. Would you rather employ someone that has not been battle tested? So when technical roles are more of a battle, let's take for instance a cybersecurity role. You would employ someone that cramps and pours in the exam.
Thank you.
This is very interesting. It's a fight.
No, I'm definitely not. Like I said, right?
Okay, now let's go to the next question. Don't worry. So many of them want to ask you questions later. Yes, so we'll do that after the session. So now, assuming the hospital's network is attacked by a ransomware, thereby unlocking the patient's critical records, obviously, the hackers demand payment, right? Now, paying could save lives, we all know, but also fund criminals, encourage future attacks. Should organizations pay ransoms to regain control over their data, or does payment only encourage further criminal activity? This is the final question.
Nice one again.
We have 1 minute each, please.
Yeah, I think a lot of companies in the past, why did they maybe because they want a quick fix? Maybe you said something about the hospital, how it is to protect lives. When we have an application that is down and has a long downtime, it can actually impact the hospitals, which then could lead to several people. So we don't want that. So we have to prioritize life. And a lot of people care about their reputation. Companies care about reputations. If you now like, after 1 week, what do you want to do? Do you want to close down the business? You can't pay. So when you pay, then you can strengthen your system going forward. But a lot of companies, I don't want to start mentioning names, but yeah.
Team B, over to you.
No. You don't pay for...
I like it when there's a fight.
You don't support terrorism. I call these attackers and bad actors terrorists, because when you continue to pay for ransomware, it's like you funding another group. You're funding them to attack other companies. What would happen? What's the worst that could happen when you don't pay? You told
So what will happen in a case whereby you try every means possible, but you can't retrieve this data, and this data is vital? What do you do in that case?
I like that you said that. You see, in the first place, you shouldn't be in that position. You should have backups. You should invest in your security instead of.
The question is, there is already an attack. Do you pay or you are not going to pay? So there's already an
Wow, 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 wow. This is good. Round of applause. Clap for them. Don't be angry. Clap for them. Clap, clap. Oga, clap, clap. Okay, this is a very beautiful session. We came, we debated, and we didn't. We broke a few firewalls in the process, right? Yeah, that's good. So we thank you, amazing audience, and thank you for not hacking the password during the session. Thank you very much as you make your way back to your seats. Okay, few questions. I don't know. Who has questions? Okay. Hold on. Yeah.
Thank you very much. So, I just have a question for cyber security professional. Okay, so you mentioned that I'm also a cyber-security professional. I'm not trying to encourage what's not, but then I'm just quite inquisitive, and I'm like, okay, so now I'm here thinking, what if the company's domain is being held hostage? In this situation, what are they supposed to do? Because yes, they should be backup, they should be incident response and all of those things. But now, maybe this might just help in my professional career going forward. But now the attack has happened already. It's not like it's maybe a vulnerability or something. It's happened already. What are they supposed to do?
Okay, in this instance, it's happened. When it happens like this, instead of paying, you should report to security agencies. Most of these ransomware, they use encryptions that have decryption tools that are available to most of the security agencies. So first of all, report these things, and you see that most of the time, before you even go pay, these things are already decrypted. So in the case that you actually pay them, let's just say you pay them, what if you don't get your data back? We've seen many cases. I think there was about 20, I read a report recently, it was about 20% of companies don't get their data back even when they pay. So some of the time they might even give you a decryption tool that is corrupted. You won't be able to use, you can't track the money, it's being paid by crypto. So there's no use paying. If you think about it, there's really no use paying.
So what's the way forward?
Invest so much in your security.
No, there's already an attack.
Don't focus on quality, focus on security.
Just one more last question.
I don't actually have a question, but I just wanted to talk about certifications and experience. So there's this misconception that maybe certifications will get you into the door. I don't want to say it's a misconception, but I would say that the average immigrant or the average person that's immigrated to the UK in the last 2 to 5 years probably immigrated to do a master's. If you want to do project management, for example, your master's degree, there are certain project management elements that you can bring out of the master's degree and can evidence to get you a job. So you do not need a phase 2. I can sleep and do a phase 2. You do not need to do a PMP, for example. I'm just saying that this, because you mentioned you need a project management certificate.
Your master's certification is a certification.
Yeah.
Your master's
project management.
No, there's an experience in it. You learn in it. There's a platform for you to gather experience.
So I was only saying it because he specifically said you cannot be a project manager without getting a project manager.
But you did something experience in it. You gather some experience when you are getting certification. That's what I'm trying to say.
Thank you very much. Sorry, we're running out of time, and we'll be calling the session to an end now. Thank you very much for your audience. Clap for them as they go back to their seats. Thank you.
Great fun, agreeing to disagree, creativity stimulates diversity. using your opposition's kind of ideas that you don't agree to innovate your own ideas. So that was great fun. Now, one thing is we've got to tell you earlier that 5 o'clock, Raymond has ordered some great food for us. So it'd be great for all of us to meet together, continue to network. So you're welcome to still go downstairs at any time you need to use the, doing stuff. And there's a cafe downstairs as well. But it'd be nice for all of us to have whatever Raymond's got lined up for us. We've still got a great afternoon ahead. We've got some more pitch presentations, and I think there's one more panel discussion as well. So the next bit is
hi everyone, good afternoon. Today, can you go to the intro? Thank you. I want to talk about overcoming the work experience challenge in the UK tech industry. Earlier on, when I tried to do the input, I talked about people migrating in the last 2 to 5 years. And currently, there's a very big issue. With actually getting work experience in the UK, especially for these migrants. We have cases of people not having UK experience, companies having one thing or the other to say to these people that are trying to apply for jobs, even when some of them are professionals from wherever they immigrated from. So my name is Omon, and today I'll be talking about how to overcome this challenge, as well as talking about Accendia. So I'm the co-founder of Accendia, and one of the things that we're trying to do is helping people get into the tech industry here in the UK, and we're doing this leveraging on mentorship, internship placements to cover the lack of UK work experience, as well as even full-time job placements. And we are currently working on an AI-powered career counseling tool specifically for immigrants. This AI tool would specifically help people that are immigrating into the UK with career mentorship, career guidance, also doing a personalized skills audit for them to be able to leverage on the transferable skills, qualifications, and experiences that they are bringing into the UK job market. So there are certain challenges and opportunities. One major challenge will be the lack of local experience, like I said earlier. A lot of people will try to get jobs, and even after you got into the interview, someone will say, we picked someone that had specific UK work experience, or someone that currently works within our team. Another challenge will be limited professional networks. A couple of people have come here today to talk about networking, and most immigrants have struggle mentality. Someone has already told you from back home that this is the only thing you can do. So people have limited themselves to those things that they're being told. The third thing will be employers' biases. So some people came in as international students, some people came to the UK to cover the health and care sector, and they will require sponsorship to remain in the UK. And there are a lot of employers that would not be able to do that, either due to financial constraints or because maybe they just don't want to. I'll go back to opportunities. UK companies actually need global perspective. I thought this was a lie until I actually got into the tech space here in the UK myself. Even though a lot of companies are scrapping DEI or whatever, there are still companies that are leveraging on that. Even the very big companies are trying to see how they can patch onto this bad press to see how they can get in more foreign skilled workers to come fill certain job roles in their companies. So there is an opportunity there. Another one will be employers value problem solving. If you come from Nigeria, for example, you know that automatically by default you're a problem solver. If you can leverage these skills or leverage this experience within your job, career transition journey or job search journey, it will be very, very advantageous to you. The last opportunity will be your unique international background actually matters. A lot of people would when they start to apply for jobs, will no longer want to use their Nigerian experience because one guy has told them that no company will look at you if you use your Nigerian experience. But that's actually false because you build up on those experiences place within the industry or the company that you're trying to work for. Strategies to bridge this gap. At Ascendia, like I said, we are leveraging on mentorship, we're leveraging on networking opportunities. I'm here today to tell you about what we are doing. That's an example, putting the word out there. We currently have a community of 1,240 people, and we launched on the 2nd of January. And this is to tell you that there are actually people struggling to translate the professional experience they have abroad into the UK standard. So one of the strategies is to focus on in-demand tech areas. The in-demand tech areas actually is up for debate, but I feel like there are a lot of industries or there are a lot of spaces in the UK here where people can transition into. For example, another one would be to network and build visibility. When we speak to community members, we talk to them about going for events. Nikki talked about Eventbrite, and someone else, I think earlier, talked about Eventbrite. That's one of the things that we tell people to do. Go to these events, meet people, and see what you can learn from them that you can use to translate into your CV, your cover letter, and in the long run, leverage on these networking opportunities to either get a job or at least get your foot in the door. Another thing is aligning CVs with the UK market. Very recently, I had to do a skills audit myself, and I was very, very surprised at the standard of the CV that some people were submitting, or the standard of the cover letter. And one of the things that we do within our community is to bring in HR professionals. In the last 3 months, we brought in professionals from Bloomberg, HSBC, Deutsche Bank, and the likes, to teach community members what they will be looking out for in a CV or a cover letter. And lastly, mindset shift. When I started the conversation, I talked about how most immigrants have struggle mentality. We have people within our community that have transitioned straight from being domiciliary care workers into project managers and the like. And we usually bring these people to come and speak to other immigrants that have thought that maybe they might just do this one for the next 5 years. It's very important that we shift the mindset of people to know that there's an actual gap in the UK job market and they can fill it if they want to. Thank you.
So, in Transmedia, you talked about you guys help people improve their skills, especially help them build personal projects, right? Now, the truth is that most companies are hiring. There's difference between personal projects and industry projects. They're very different. The personal projects are just like the way you build your personal project, you don't build a project to a team, you just build it yourself. Now, what do you guys do to close that gap so that if I am going to help me, transition, get a job in the UK, how do you close that gap so that I will have that? So if I go for an interview, my interviewer will warn me that they are just
Okay, so I know I did say personal projects, but also one of the things I said we do was, or we do, is to leverage on internship opportunities. So in the last 3 months, we've onboarded 12 corporate partners that are actively providing internship slots for community members. So outside of the personal projects you are doing, you actually have an internship. If you're a project manager, you're working on real life projects within that organization, and you're adding this to your CV, your portfolio, and building upon that. Any other questions? Oh, amazing. Thank you.
We've obviously got more panel sessions coming up. I think it's always good in the afternoon to always get the energy up. You're not awesome, you know why? You're amazing! You're amazing! Turn to the person next to you and say, you're amazing! Give it full energy. Bring them up, say, you're amazing! After time, I want to see 100% now, say, you're amazing! You're amazing! Okay, so now let's go to the next panel discussion, which is? see is growth hacking and digital marketing strategies for startups. Let's welcome the moderator and the guest to the table.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here. I trust that we've had a fantastic time so far. I've had a great time in this tech event. In this section, we would be having a very impactful and interesting topic. We'll be digging into different growth hacking and digital marketing strategies for startups. And the first speaker we have is Isaac Oladipupo. Give him a round of applause, please. He is the CEO and co-founder of AfriLearn. We also have Emeka Ebeniro. Forgive my pronunciation. He is the founder of Trillion Digital. He is a growth marketer and AI specialist. Please give him a round of applause. Thank you. And we have Mr. Anwoluwapo Gabriel. A round of applause. He is the founder and CEO of Pavolera and Pitch. You're welcome. And lastly, we have Mr. Oluwabumi Balogun. A round of applause. Thank you. He's a growth and marketing leader. In this session, like I said before, we'll be going into different growth hacking and marketing strategies. We have a couple of people here who have some business ideas. You would like to start a startup, but what is most important than having a good product and good service is having these strategies that you can put in place to get people to engage with your product and your services. And these people would then translate to long-term and committed customers. So you need these growth hacking and digital marketing strategies. And the people we have here as our panelists, they have gone through these different trials, they have gone through these different challenges, they have overcome. A lot of them are startup owners and CEOs. So they will be able to provide this information and strategies that we need to build better startups. Thank you again and welcome to this session. And the first question would go to Mr. Isaac. I know that AfriLearn leverages gamification to enhance learning. So what would you say are some key growth strategies that you've used to scale your business and scale the platform and increase user engagement?
Thank you very much. First, it's great to be here. Beautiful session so far as well. So in terms of strategies, what we found in our own case, by the way, my name is Isaac. AfriLearn is the leading peer-to-peer learning hub in Africa, just like the Duolingo of education in Africa. So what we found is that these days attention spans are very low. In fact, there's a research that's very funny that says that I saw recently that the goldfish is a type of fish, now has longer attention span than the average human being. That's how crazy it's gotten. So what we've done is we've made education very immersive, and how would we do that? We are leveraging gamification to make education feel like TikTok, right? Because right now, it's very hard for you to get a child to learn when they can actually go on social media. So if you want them to learn, you have to make it look almost addictive. And that's what we've done. And immediately we did that and we released it. We also use things like streaks. So when you go on the platform on a daily basis, as long as you don't miss a day on the platform, you get a streak. If you don't come to the platform, you lose your streak. So we found that is actually very effective. And our growth has been tremendously improved just because of this tactic. And the other things we do also include leveraging the success stories of those who are using the platform and have achieved their goals. So for instance, we've had people use AfriLearn pass or exam in one sitting just by using the app, right? So what we do is we get success stories, these success stories, and we use them on our platform. And then the third one also is influencer marketing. Now these three things are the top three things that are worked for us incredibly well. First is gamifying the experience, making it very intuitive. Second is leveraging success stories. Of course, when you see other people have achieved what they want to achieve using your platform, is second nature for them to enjoy. And then lastly is viral influencer marketing.
Perfect, thank you very much. Your answer to that question has actually answered the third question I had here, which was, about the tools and the platforms that you have used so far, to, keep people learning, and that's great. And I would just ask you what you would recommend for, startups that don't yet have any of these strategies. So what tools and what technologies would you recommend to them with limited budget that can help them automate and optimize their digital marketing efforts?
Great question. The first thing I would say is before you even look at the tool you want to use, the first thing you should do is research your audience and know what they want. Right? You need to know who your audience are. You need to feel their vibe. What are they looking for? How do they want it? And where do they go for information like what kind of products? Where do they go? Are they people that go online? Are they people that read newspapers? There are still people that read newspapers still days, So you want to really know the nuances of your audience, what they are looking for, their characteristics, develop a detailed persona that's based on real data, speaking to your audience, The biggest mistake I see startup founders make is they want to build something and they are very immersed in their ideas and then they go build it. That's the wrong way to build anything. The first thing to do is to talk to users. Before you build any mobile app, talk to users. I know friends, startup founders like myself, also, who actually they've had 20,000, 10,000 users before they ever built a mobile app. And that's the way to build startups, right? So what I would say is find out exactly what your audience, what they want, and that will then determine the kind of tools that you would use.
Thank you, that's absolutely intelligent. A round of applause for Mr. Isaac, thank you. The next question will be for Mr. Emeka, a growth marketer and AI specialist. The first question is, AI is transforming digital marketing right now. So what are the top AI-driven growth hacking strategies that startups should be using today?
Great question.
By the way, I love this answer for I told you.
It's a great question. For me, I think it's leveraging AI automation and agents. I don't know if I have my phone there. Thank you. Can you help me with my phone? Let me just show you an example. A lot of startups can leverage AI automation, AI agents to streamline their processes and then scale faster, because we've gotten to the era where you have successful one-man businesses, and with the help of AI, you can do that easily. So let me see if I can get Zoe on the line and show you what I mean by that. So I built an AI agent, her name is Zoe, and Zoe can answer questions for...
You have reached Trillion AI. My name is Zoe. How can I help you today?
Hey Zoe, how are you doing today?
Hey there. I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. How about you? Anything on your mind regarding AI voice agents today?
Yes, I run an edtech platform where I teach people about getting into tech like cybersecurity and project management. How do you think I can apply AI voice agents for my business?
That's a fantastic thing to explore. AI voice agents can be a game changer for your edtech platform. They can handle student inquiries 24/7, provide instant answers to common questions, and even guide...
So are you still there?
Absolutely, I'm here. Just thinking about how AI could really enhance your platform. What specific challenges are you facing with student interactions right now?
Just quickly, onboarding, how can I get more people to know about my platform, and how can I easily integrate them into the platform? That's all.
Onboarding can be tricky, but AI voice agents can help by providing personalized onboarding experiences. They can guide new users through the platform, answer questions in real time, and even offer recommendations based on user preferences. For getting more people to know about your platform, AI can assist with targeted marketing campaigns and follow-ups. How does that sound?
That sounds great, thank you, Zoe. So this is just a small demo of what businesses can do. If you run an edtech platform, if you're a consultant, you're building something, this is how you can easily apply AI into your business. So your team doesn't have to answer all the questions. You can build an agent for your business that would handle questions around what product to you, offer, how can it help me, the regular FAQs and things like that. And let's be honest, it sounds cool to speak to an AI, so that could even help in your marketing, which is something we'll still go into, but this is just an example to show you one way you can.
Thank you very much, Mr. Emeka. That was absolutely brilliant. And the next question would be, what are some cost-effective growth hacking techniques that early-stage startups can use to acquire their first 1,000 customers?
Fantastic. Just like my brother rightly said before, it's one thing that startup founders need to embrace is marketing. A lot of people believe you have to bootstrap your marketing. I think that's not the best way to go if you want to go fast. Let me explain. If I have an idea and I want to find out if people like my idea, I wouldn't waste my time trying to ask everybody. I would put my idea online, run an ad on Facebook, and see how many people will resonate with my idea and that message. I would get 1,000 to 500 followers instantly. And I'm saying this from experience. I've done it before. I've helped, similar to what Cynthia is doing, I've helped a platform that helps people get into tech, organize project management and all that. And we're able to grow that in less than 90 days. We're able to grow the platforms about 1,000 loyal people on the platform to keep engaging, coming for workshops, masterclasses and all. And in 90 days, we're able to monetize the platform. Why? We leverage growth hacking techniques, running ads, targeting the right people, putting the right message in front of them, and getting them along the journey. So what I would advise any startup founder is, one, have your landing page or your website where your product is, where you share about your product. Two, create a video or series of videos that talk about the pain points of what are your value prop of your product, and then drive traffic to your landing page. And on your landing page, put a waiting list there. So once people see your ad, they go to your landing page, they understand what your product is all about or what you intend to build, and you get their details. By the time you do that, in about a month or less, you would have gotten a database of about 10 to 20,000 people. And the moment you're launching your product, you already have 10 to 20,000 people that are interested. So that's my position.
Fantastic, thank you very much. Although this question is not really on the list, but it's possible to have 20,000 followers, right? But when it comes to monetizing the application or whatever it is, those people would not translate to customers that would pay. So when a startup is facing such a challenge, whereby they have huge following, they have people who have seen their ideas and think it's brilliant, but are finding it difficult to begin to spend on whatever application it is, how would you advise such a startup owner? What would you advise them to do to be able to break that barrier?
Great question. It's followers. It's not the same thing as building a waiting list. Those are two different things. And by the way, I'm sorry to burst any startup but a lot of them like followers. That's the truth. So to look good, have that social proof, look really nice, they go to some growth hacker that give their followers, or they buy an existing account, they change something. No. If that's why you're building a waiting list. So it's the same way a lot of the platforms we used to be, that's how they grew, and they grew fast. Notion, a lot of these guys build through community. So if I'm building something that I believe would help someone here, I would shoot a video, talk about my product, make you understand what my product is all about, and tell you, do you think this would help you? You would put your details, and I'll let you know, we are going to launch this product at this time, and this is the rate. Another thing you can do with building a waiting list and having like a souvenir or a survey there is, you can find out how much people are willing to pay for that solution. And that's one area a lot of startup founders don't do. They don't do enough research. So I would rather, in my own case, build a database of 20,000 people that are interested, get them to fill a survey, have an idea of how much they are willing to pay for that solution, and understand what the pain points are, because I'm a marketer, and use that pain points to do communication, to target other people, because I just got free insights R&D, I just go free research and development. Use them to develop my product and then launch it to other people. Because if 20,000 people are willing to join my waiting list, at least 10% or even 1% of them will be willing to pay if the price is right.
Fantastic, thank you. So it is important to focus on organic growth rather than, quick get rich quick schemes. Thank you very much for that. Next question will be to Mr. Gabriel, the CEO of Pavolera. So Pavolera focuses on empowering indigenous communities through digital innovations. So what are some unique growth challenges and opportunities in that particular space?
Thank you very much. My name is Andrew Afro. When I came into the United Kingdom in 2022, I was lost, no family, just one friend, right? One friend rather. So, getting all those informations were kind of challenging, right? And coupled with the fact that you want to, study, you want to do all these things, you have people getting, on your neck from back home and all of that. Then after my studies, I moved down to Portsmouth and I saw those opportunities over there, right? So indigenous communities face a lot of challenges, right? And there are different solutions that have been built for them. However, when I came in, I saw some other form of opportunities that are into the healthcare space, right? Many of us will come into the United Kingdom. If you are already Nigerians in the UK platform, you'll see many people talking about the issues of NHS, trying to understand how when you are going through malaria and you are telling them you are going through malaria, and say, go back and take paracetamol, right? There are no digital tools to kind of leverage some of the opportunities in this space. That's why we have been doing things to support people in that area. In addition to the opportunities that are there, right? When we started Pavolera, we looked at the communities of migrants in Portsmouth. Portsmouth is a population of about 200,000 people, and we have just close to 1 to 3%, right? In this case, we have people that have Syrians, we have people that have local businesses. But one thing that we realized was that the way London is and digital tech are in Portsmouth is different from Portsmouth, right? So if you want to do things that are related to digital, you have to tie it to their businesses, right? You have to tie it to what they currently understand. If you tell them you want to do AI or something, they just look at you. So there are different unique patterns of ways of doing things in different cities.
Awesome, thank you very much. And how important do you think networking is in the UK startup ecosystem? And what are those practical ways that we can use to connect with the right people?
Networking is actually one of the biggest things that has helped us. When I tell people that was just for 1 year, by the people don't believe, right? With networking, so when I wanted to start Portsmouth at Pavolera, right? So Portsmouth Tech came out of Pavolera, all right? So I went to some of my friends from the faith community, and I told them my idea, and they were like, you're crazy, what you want to do in Portsmouth? Portsmouth is a village. I was like, oh, Portsmouth is a village. I think there are some people that came to the event that are here last year, and I said, okay, I like that challenge. Portsmouth is a village, but we are going to advertise this, right? And when we started, I actually used the local knowledge from Nigeria, right? So sometimes you have to use the, how will I call it now, methods that are unconventional, right? There are some certain people. So for instance, we have the first black female counselor in Portsmouth, who happens to be in Nigeria, right? There are ways by which you can reach out to these people. Yes, they might seem big on the outside, but there are strategic ways whereby you can reach out to them. So I went to her mommy, I want to do this, and I was like, that's a good thing, to support you. And then I looked at the whole of Portsmouth, who are the people that have the power, right?